7. It's the Kerr Reservoir. But here in Virginia, you're more likely to hear this 50,000-acre impoundment called by its original name, Bugs Island, named after a 169-acre island located downstream from the dam. Since this is a flood control and hydroelectric reservoir, water fluctuations are not unusual. But what these Bassmasters are experiencing in this $230,000 BASS Top 100 Pro-Am is a bit out of the ordinary. Hurricane Hugo is to blame. Torrential rains raised the lake several feet, and now Bugs is being lowered to normal winter pool at the rate of a ½ foot a day. The falling water throughout this 4-day tournament is an important factor. These anglers must adjust to the constantly changing water levels and stay with the bass as they move with the dropping water. You see, it's very possible that areas where anglers find fish today may be dry land by the final day of competition. The first day's action draws to a close as Florida's Shaw Grigsby takes the lead, with veteran Bassmaster Chet Dothett close behind. Day 2 of the Virginia BASS Top 100, and as predicted, the lake level drops about 6 inches. These Bassmasters are used to changing conditions, but this tournament is different. Usually in the fall, these touring pros are adapting to low water conditions, not high and falling water. Spinnerbaits and jigs are the most productive lures. Spinnerbaits when the bass move out and away from the heavy cover. Jigs when the fish are tight to the cover. And this second day weigh-in proves that some anglers have found the winning combination.
5 bass. And my Lord, what a pile of bass. This looks like I'm having a heart attack. Congratulations, man. I don't know what did you weigh before today? He had 10 pounds. Folks, I want you to look at this. This may be an all-time record. Look at this weight. 24 pounds. Hold it, watch it. Let's let the weight settle in now. 24 pounds, 3 ounces. Holy smokes. Randy Blockett, that is absolutely one of the biggest stringers of 5 bass I have seen in 15 years. Pick up 2 of the bigger, all of them are big. Lord knows that these fish are averaging 5 pounds apiece. And there's not a 6, there's not a 7 pound. These are just 2 of the big ones. Folks, isn't that incredible? Let's have a nice hand for Randy Blockett. I know he's thrilled to death with 24 pounds of bass. My Lord. Let's weigh the biggest one of the 2. Let's just see for the record. The biggest bass, as you'll notice, we'll put the lid on it, should go about 6 pounds, 7 pounds. 6 pounds, 7 ounces is the largest bass. Congratulations to you. My friend, hold it up and let's take a picture for Bassmaster magazine. Randy Blockett, I know you're proud of that, baby. Woo, let's hear it, folks. You folks up here ought to be proud of yourself. We're proud of you, Randy Blockett. Congratulations. Boy, you are clearly in the lead.
And now Florida's Chet Dothett in second place this morning.
17 pounds and 8 ounces yesterday in a solid second place. Today, a limited bass. The weight today, 15 pounds, 1 ounce. Mark it. That's excellent. Chet, have you ever seen anything like that string that just can the Randy Blockett's catch?
No, I haven't.
I tell you, I would have thought 15 pounds, of course, is an incredible way to put you right up there, but at best, it's second place at the moment.
Yeah, I had a good day. I caught my fish fairly early this morning. I lost a couple of good fish, but that's part of the ball game. But Randy had done a heck of a job. To say he probably got on an area that hasn't been hit very hard, and that's one of the secrets. The area I had pretty well to myself yesterday, but I had quite a few visitors today. But that's the thing right now, is getting on an area that hadn't been hit very hard, and he caught them and put them in a boat.
When the Bassmasters return, we'll show you how Randy Blockett found his bass. It's a story in itself. Stay tuned. We'll be right when tournament leader Randy Blockett caught his huge string of bass. He had his area all to himself. The reason? No other contestant had figured out how to get his boat under this bridge. Randy determined he needed 5 to 6 inches to clear the bridge. He then called the Ranger Boat Factory. He was told if he pulled his boat's drain plug, it would sink about 5 or 6 inches. Yesterday, while his boat was flooding, Randy removed the seats, motor cowling, and anything else necessary to reduce the boat's profile. When the boat was flooded, Blockett and his amateur partner laid down on the deck and pulled the boat under this bridge into open water. While this procedure worked, the Bass Anglers Sportsmen's Society does not recommend or imply endorsement of the practice of flooding boats in order to access out-of-the-way areas. Besides being innovative to reach his fishing area, Randy is also doing something else different from other top 100 anglers.
Well, I think the reason that I caught so many big fish yesterday and the reason I've lost some big fish this morning, I lost a 7-pounder already, is that I'm flipping willows like a lot of other people in the tournament, but I'm fishing way back in the willow trees. I'm actually flipping my bait up and over the top of the trees. I'm getting like 30 feet back into them where the bigger fish live. I'm using extremely heavy tackle. I've got 40-pound test line and a good quality flipping stick. And the whole key is once the fish survive the first 5 or 10 seconds of fighting, they just pin themselves against the limbs and you can just run in there and pick them out. It's slow fishing, averaging about 1 bite per hour, but it's usually good fish. And, you know, that's the way to win a tournament is on quality fish. Fish haven't been biting until later in the afternoon. I'm real familiar with fishing willows back home in Missouri and Oklahoma, and what happens is the fish, as it gets warmer, we've had a real cold week last week, 30-degree nights, and as it warms up in the daytime, these fish are suspending back in these trees or suspending in the willow branches, and all my strikes are coming when the jig initially hits the water and starts to fall down. They're just not on the bottom, they're suspended in these willows. So actually, I think the reason I'm having some success doing it is my presentation is a little bit different than everybody else.
And it's obvious his pattern works.
Man, I'm telling you what, you talk about something giving you a heart attack. Imagine catching 5 of the babies like this and digging them out like that. Whew. Right.
But Randy's not the only pro catching fish today. Second place contender Chet Doffett is also into the bass. And former Bassmasters Classic champion Tommy Martin of Texas is finding bass this morning, and good ones.
Well, I just made a cast into a little green buckbush, kind of coming out of this pocket. And I was fishing spinnerbait pretty slow, about maybe a foot under the water when that fish hit. Hit right on the corner of the bush. That's where I've been catching most of them. They're not right up in the thick stuff. They're just laying at good ambush points, kind of on the outside edges of the bush. You pretty well come around all corners of the bush with the spinnerbait and just keep working it around these bushes, and all of a sudden one will hit.
Tournament leader Randy Blockett brings only 3 bass to the scales today, but they're definitely keepers.
Mr. Randy Blockett, who brought in that incredible 24 pounds of in ounces. Today, boom, only 3 bass, but they are killers. They are killers. Watch the scales. 14 pounds, 9 ounces. Let's give him a nice hand, Randy Blockett. Bingo. Pull them out. Pull those 2 killers out. They are big bass. Folks, I want you to look at this. Look at these bass. These are the most magnificent bass I think I've seen in a coon's egg. Look at them, ain't that? So let's give a nice hand for these 2 bass. Those are absolutely spectacular bass. We want to weigh the big bass, which has got to go over 5 pounds. What do you think of the weight, Randy?
I had a 6-7 yesterday, and this one's bigger. Probably 7.
Weigh it. I'm not going to bet. I think 7 pounds is pretty dang close. Probably 7.5. 7.6. Boy, that, folks, I want to tell you, that is a beautiful fish. Is that the biggest bass of the tournament? All right, Randy, this puts you back in the lead, I'm told, by Bob Cobb.
Well, Ray, I'm happy with what I caught, but I'm just sick because I had today I had a chance to weigh the biggest string of fish in my life. I lost one bigger than the one I caught. I lost another 4-pounder and a couple other big fish that got me buried up in the brush. I think I could have had 30 pounds of fish, seriously, if I wouldn't have lost them. But the type of pattern I'm fishing, it's real susceptible to losing fish because I'm fishing extremely heavy cover, and I've got to dig all my fish out. Matter of fact, we got one about 5 pounds on film today where I had to dig it out of the willow bush. So if I can get them in, I should be in good shape tomorrow. I had 8 bites today. I got 3 of them in the boat, and it's just a tough deal.
I wish you well. You got one more day to make it.
Thank you.
All right.
The Day 3 weigh-in action is not over yet, as 1989 BASS Angler of the Year Gary Klein comes to the scales.
With 21 pounds and 14 ounces, just barely out of the top 20 with 5 bass that are killers. Watch the scale, maybe the biggest creel of the day. 8. Watch him. Don't let him get out. They are beautiful, man. 17, 15, mark it. Let's take his 2 big ones out. Give him a nice hand, folks. Beautiful bunch of fish. This is what it's about. This is what separates the pros from the pros. There are 2 beautiful bass of a creel, of more than 17 pounds.
The Bassmasters will be right back with the exciting last day action at the Virginia BASS Top 100. The final morning of the Virginia Top 100. And once again, Randy Blockett is into big bass.
Man, that's the easiest fish I caught. He come right out of there.
And Florida's Chet Dothert, still in second place, is also catching bass.
There he is.
Oh, I hope they hit that spinnerbait this morning.
And so is Texan Gary Klein.
Fish number 5. A couple more hits like that, and I'll give them a run for their money.
How does the leader, Randy Blockett, feel about his chances?
Well, I tend to be really optimistic this morning because I haven't even made one pass in my area, and I've caught 2 good or nice keepers, probably 6 pounds. I haven't been getting bitten here until about noon, it seems like. I talked to Denny Breyer this morning before I went out, and he thought the fish would be even more aggressive because we've had stable weather all week long, and they seem to be like that. So hopefully if I can pick up a fish every pass and maybe get into a big one, I can win the tournament. But I'm just going to try to fish slow and just enjoy myself and hopefully not lose any of the bites I get. And if I can do that, I think I can win.
And here's the play-by-play for the rest of the final day. Head-to-head, down to the wire.
Yeah, that's a nice kicker. Stuck right in Papa nose, right where she's supposed to be. That just gave me a little bit more than 14 pounds. Son. All right.
Man.
You can look back up in the timber and see where the water has been for the last couple of weeks. But now the water's dropping approximately 6 to 7 inches a day, and it's forcing these fish out, back out into the main lake. And these fish don't really want to go back out to the main lake. They want to still stay in the cover. So what they're doing is they're staying in the thickest cover that's available, or that's closest to the deepest water, and that just happens to be these willows on the points.
Man, I think that did it, boys, right there.
Congratulations.
All right.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
Montana's Charles Bonner, the amateur division leader, weighs in. He's got his sights on the $15,000 Ranger Boat Award.
Every day. Bonner, by the way, is leading, if you notice, the amateur division with 17 pounds and 6 ounces. Brings in 2 more bass to his credit. And this Montana angler is going to win this angle on the amateur division in my prediction. 6 pounds, 7 ounces. Let's give him a good hand. I believe he's going to win it. He's a big-time deer hunter and also a great bass fisher from up in the beautiful state of Montana. Did you do anything different than the other 99 people?
No, I don't believe so. I just glued a flipping stick on the end of my arm, and I just kept pitching.
Gary Klein makes his move with a tremendous bag of bass.
In 4th place, people, with a limit of bass. This bunch of fish he's got here could very easily, and I suspect will put him in the lead of this tournament. Drain your water real good now. Fishermen know that it's easier to catch water than it is to catch bass. Now we're ready. Now, Garrett, that's only 4 ounces of water off of that. Watch the scale, people. Big weight. 19 pounds, 4 ounces for Garrett Klein. Puts him in the lead.
Now, this morning's Pro Division leader.
Folks, our leader. Here he is. Watch carefully. Randy Blockett. Never won one of our tournaments, but he's a pro with 48 pounds and 8 ounces. 5 bass, 14 pounds, 15 ounces. Let's hear it for Randy Blockett. Pick him up, son, I tell you. Incredible catch. Folks, he led the last 2 days. This young man has never won. He's been in the money time and time again, but he's never won one of our tournaments. He may have his chance today if somebody out in left field doesn't come in and knock him off. So it's not over yet by any means, but there we go. We got him in the lead again. Thank you kindly. Folks, let me ask you a question I got to ask. Listen, you caught those 5 bass, and how many did you lose? I got to ask that because that's usually the nightmare.
Well, I lost one big one today, Ray. The biggest fish I had on, about a 5-pounder. The camera boat was there. He just pulled off. It's been an exciting week for me. I mean, if I don't win, I've had a great time. And I've had the opportunities. I've had the bites to win a tournament. And so, you know, what else can you ask for?
And those 14 pounds, 15 ounces of bass will earn this young Missouri pro his first BASS victory. A well-deserved $45,000 reward. Right now, it's time for the Pros Pointer, the how-to section of the Bassmasters. Brought to you by Wrangler, the most comfortable jeans known to man.
You know, when you're fishing willow trees in heavy cover, you're going to lose a lot of fish, but I found one trick, or several tricks you can do on modifying your jig and pork frog to help you hook more fish. First of all, take scissors and trim your skirt back to the back end of the hook. And this will keep from having a lot of short striking fish. Next, take a pair of pliers, bend the angle of the hook up, and this will help you hook a lot more fish because when you set the hook on a fish, the tip of the hook doesn't skim across the roof of that fish's mouth. By bending it up, it'll stick in there, especially on a big fish. It's real important. Next, take a piece of plastic worm, like a 1/2 inch long, thread it up over the hook. Now what this does is it keeps the pork frog from balling up on the shank of the hook. If you've ever noticed a pork frog, after you've lost a big fish, it'll be stuck on the hook itself. This will keep it from it. And one other thing I like to do is on my pork frogs is I like to modify them. I'll take and I'll slice a little piece out of the end, which gives me more hook penetration. I'll serrate the bottom of it with a knife to give it more lifelike appearance and maybe even split the legs. And then it's all ready to fish. And like that, you know, you're going to have problems catching big bass and getting them in out of heavy cover, but just try modifying them like this and it'll help you land your share.